Karl Marx, the man, the myth, the beard. He's not just some dusty old figure from history textbooks. He's the guy who's inspired revolutions, stirred up debates, and even turned up on t-shirts. Let's dive into his early life, academic achievements, importance, and legacy, but with a bit of a lighter touch. Karl Heinrich Marx was born on May 5, 1818, in Trier, Germany. Imagine a small town with cobblestone streets, bustling markets, and Karl, a curious kid running around asking way too many questions. His father, Heinrich, was a lawyer who loved the Enlightenment. Think of him as the guy at the party who always wanted to talk about Voltaire. Young Karl was part of a large family, and they all converted to Protestantism, probably to dodge some anti-Semitic hassles. He went to Trier High School, where he was that annoying kid who was good at everything, especially literature and the humanities. In 1835, Karl took his talents to the University of Bonn to study law. But law was too boring for our man Karl, so he transferred to the University of Berlin, where he got into philosophy and history. Imagine him as the hipster student, hanging out with radical thinkers, challenging the status quo over cups of strong coffee. Marx earned his PhD in 1841 with a thesis titled The Difference Between the Democritan and Epicurean Philosophy of Nature. It sounds fancy, but really it was his way of diving deep into ideas that would shape his later theories. By then, he was already into dialectical materialism, though he probably didn't call it that at his local bar. Karl Marx wasn't just a thinker, he was a game changer. Here's a rundown of his greatest hits. 1. Historical materialism. Marx said that the economy is the real powerhouse of society, and everything else, politics, religion, culture, is just along for the ride. 1. He saw history as a never-ending series of class struggles, like an epic soap opera, but with more revolution and less melodrama. 2. Labor theory of value. In Das Kapital, Marx argued that the value of a commodity is all about the labor put into it. 2. He pointed out that capitalists were basically pocketing the difference between what workers made and what they got paid. 2. Not cool, right? 3. Class struggle. Marx was all about the conflict between the bourgeoisie, those with the money and power, and the proletariat, the working stiffs. 3. He believed that one day the workers would rise up, overthrow the bourgeoisie, and we'd all live in a classless communist utopia. 3. Dream big, Karl. Marx's ideas didn't just sit on the shelf, they got people moving. 1. Political movements. Marx inspired revolutions all over the place. 1. The Russian Revolution of 1917? 1. Yep, Marx had a hand in that, at least ideologically. 1. His thoughts became the bedrock for many socialist states in the 20th century. 2. Academic influence. Love him or hate him. Marx's theories are a staple in sociology, economics, and political science. 2. His take on capitalism and class struggles is still a go-to for scholars and activists trying to make sense of the world. 3. Continued relevance. Fast forward to today, and Marx is still in the conversation. 3. Whether it's about economic inequality, labor rights, or the gig economy, his critique of capitalism hits home. 3. Automation, anyone? 3. Marx might have had a thing or two to say about robots taking jobs. 4. Cultural impact. Marx has even crossed into pop culture. 4. From protest signs to t-shirts, his ideas and iconic beard are everywhere. 4. He's like the intellectual equivalent of a rock star, only with more books and fewer groupies. Karl Marx wasn't just a guy with wild ideas and a wilder beard. He was a thinker who shook things up and got people to see the world differently. Whether you're a fan of his or not, there's no denying the impact he's had. So next time you see his face on a t-shirt or his name in a heated debate, remember the man who dared to dream of a different world and had a bit of fun along the way.